Yeah, and I did look, so that is an 0-1 race. However, from the looks of it, both of the racers, it looks like we're actually already starting.
Yup, seems like rough.
All right, so what do you think we're going to see on Uncle?
Well, let's go for a sword. I haven't seen a sword yet in this tournament. I've seen a lot of Cane of Samarias, a lot of bows, some hammers. I'd like to see a fire rod as well. What about you? What do you think our runners will get today?
I'm not sure. I would love to see a bow myself. I've only seen one bow and one sword, and everything else I've seen quite a bit of. But there's a fire rod, though.
Well, there you go. There's my preference. But will it make our players go to early Skull Woods?
Probably really depends on what other kind of equipment they have, because, you know, if no sword, obviously we can't even get back to Mothula to begin with at that point. But if we have something like Fighter Sword, you know, depending on how they feel with that Mothula fight, it's a very rough fight with Fighter Sword and Fire Rod, especially if you don't have half magic.
Yep, very true. And of course, you need a sword to cut down the vines before you can reach Mothula as well. So let's see if our runners will opt to defeat some enemies here around the castle, because they will be looking for some bomb drops to be able to access the last 3 chests in the escape sequence.
Yeah, sometimes it can be a big deal if one of the runners ends up getting it and the other one does not, because if there's major progression back there, especially if it's like a glove that's back there, it can be really difficult to actually have to get back there without having to just run through the sewers again.
Yeah, very true. It's easily to forget that you can actually get back into the escape without the gloves, because you will get the free light cone, so you will not need the lamp or not need the gloves to actually get back there. But I've seen some players already forget about that, so let's hope that doesn't overcome our runners today.
Yeah, I mean, I know if you typically only run open, then you're just used to that always being dark and, you know, thinking it's like, okay, I got my free light cone, but Zelda's rescued, so I lost that, but that's not true.
Yep, very true. And Elpis picking up the map there, so that means there will be another item in Sanctuary for runners.
Yep, at least one item. We don't know it in either Zelda's chest or the first chest in the sewers is going to have our small key now.
Yep, that is correct. Without that small key, you won't be able to access the rest of the dungeon, of course. And yeah, let's see if they can get a bomb drop, because we haven't seen one yet. And fire rod shots, of course, making very quick work of this ball and chain guard. Just one hit and it's over.
All right, well, there's a small key. So we got both of the dungeon items from the escape then. So everything in the back is going to be an item. Interestingly enough, I've never seen it, but we have both runners actually using the Mega Man X sprite.
Now that you mention it, very well seen. I know that ElpisTK31 is a Mega Man speedrunner, so I know he's very fond of the Mega Man sprite. About Bacon, I don't know, but it's very nice to see.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see all the various sprites that have been developed over the life of the randomizer. It's just every new release we get many more. Usually I end up testing them all out, seeing if I have a new favorite, but I don't think there was anything in V29 that I ended up switching to.
Yeah, I really can tell. I think there's over 100 sprites, and you have to get used to some of them. For example, lining up the bomb jumps, which is, yeah, you need different cues for every sprite.
Yeah, and that's the biggest, you know, hurdle when you're switching sprites. Everything else is pretty easy, but you have to learn your sprite position for all your bomb jumps. Yeah,
very true. I also use the Mega Man X sprite, and it's really easy to line him up. For example, the ice bomb jump. It has the same pixel as like the black line you see below the door. So ElpisTK31 opting to, well, fire away at the snakes. Unfortunately, not getting any bomb drops. So our runners will have to, yeah, kill some more enemies to actually get it.
Yep, and the last possible chest they have isn't going to get one either. Bacon opting to kill a little bit more, but still no bomb drop, unfortunately.
So yeah, let's hope that they realize that they're able to get back to the escape without the gloves.
Yeah, because it looks like Elpis isn't going for any more kills, so unless he tries to kill some of the rats now that he's got his key in this final room, we'll see, looks like he's going to. No bomb though, so he's going to have to make his way back here at some point, unless we don't have anything back here and he decides to skip it.
Yeah, correct, and Bacon is down to only one shot left, so he has to be careful as well. Hopefully he gets it.
Yeah, he at least got his key, so that's the major thing. If you don't get it, at this point, you know, Bacon doesn't know it, but Elpis wasn't able to get the bomb either, so it's really not a big deal. It might have saved him some time if he was able to get back there and there was something there, but it's not a huge problem now.
Yeah, well, they will probably feel a little bit behind not getting it, but, well, for us it's good to know that they're on the same pace. Wow, this is an interesting play from Elpis. It seems like he's going for the Houlihan room.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
We see this play a lot in Key Sanity, in the Key Sanity tournament, of course, because yeah, it's a lot rarer to pick up more rupees in the beginning of the game. But I think this is the first time I've seen it here in the standard tournament.
Yeah, I have yet to actually see it in the standard tournament. You know, especially if maybe you had no rupees at all coming out of the escape, I could definitely see it then, because you're not even sure if you're going to end up having enough for the bottle merchant. But they got the 50 from the beginning, so that's at least bombs, so they can buy bombs right away and have access to everything. But the crab pole is 8 bombs, so bombs are not going to be an issue this seed at all.
Yeah, very nice. And meanwhile, we're getting a lumber Jack Cave check as well, and it's only a big 20.
All right, so Ega 1 not required just yet.
And Elpis seems to be farming some bombs in the bushes over there. I think it's a 50-50 chance of a bomb drop there.
Yep, didn't get any though, so probably, you know, doing the Houlihan, I'll probably just end up buying bombs en route to the north.
Yep, he'll be fine.
And there's 50 more rupees in Lost Woods.
Did you see that on the race game?
I did miss the race game.
It was the big D, the bow.
Oh, that's interesting to find this early then. And we have a hammer there.
Wow, some major weapons in the beginning of the game already. Very nice.
Yeah, especially considering when they get Dark World access, if they're familiar with their dark rooms, I'm not sure if these runners are or not, but that's pod being open.
Oh yeah, that's very true. They can clear out all of pod, including the boss. Yeah, of course, it will be in sequence with the lamp in hand, but without the lamp, yeah, I don't know. I think our runners will be able to do so. I've heard a lot of runners have been practicing their dark rooms for this tournament especially. Yeah, and I caught the map check. I missed Desert, but I saw there was Crystal 4 on Eastern, and we had the red pendant on Hera. But it looks like our tracker was able to catch it on. We've just got another pendant on Desert. Meanwhile, Bacon finding the half magic in Blind's hut.
So yeah, you have the hammer, so that's a really nice thing to see. Or, you know, it's not as nice, but with Fire Rod being one of your main weapons, having half magic this early is very nice.
Yes, definitely. When our runners get Dark World access, it might even push their directions to the Skull Woods play, if it's a crystal, of course. And of course, Fire Rod making very, very quick work of Lammolas and Cold Stare as well, especially with 16 shots at hand.
Yeah, definitely. We'll just see. We still need that sword, so we'll find out what we get. And, well, definitely didn't need a Houlihan strat, because there's 300 rupees right there. Well, there's a lamp. So yeah, pod's fully in sequence now when they get to the Dark World. Okay. So our Kakariko well can, I guess, be nicknamed Ega 1 well today?
Yup, pretty much your Egg and Nim starter package.
Oh, but there's the gloves, so we're only a Moon Pearl away from Dark World already.
Yup, the Aga Dream seems to be breaking down bit by bit, but still we could see the Moon Pearl sitting on the pyramid.
Yeah, that would be pretty much the only place the Moon Pearl could be, or there could be something on the pyramid that just goes right to the Moon Pearl immediately. I've seen that happen on a few occasions so far.
Ah, yeah, correct. Of course, the fetch quest items are also in game.
But we're just gonna kind of see Bacon take his steps. I'm sure he's gonna be running through the race game himself. We'll just see if he does it blindly or goes and checks the items first. And Elpis is just making his way through the northern part of Kakariko.
Yup, and let's see where they're gonna head next, because with the bow and the lamp in hand, and Eastern Palace being a crystal, I suppose it's a very nice play to go there right away. But of course, the Southern Shore play is the most common of plays, so we might see that eventually as well.
I think maybe, what I would do in this case, and I would probably go to the south part of Hyrule still, check Lake Hylia, because if you find Moon Pearl, as well as your mirror, then you could just route Pod and Eastern together at that point.
Yeah, that is very true, and both are already full clearable at this moment of time. And if Pod is actually a crystal, that'd be super convenient.
Right, and also I guess with the lamp and the gloves we do have access. It's only a couple items, actually, yeah, 2 items. We do have access to Death Mountain though, too, right now.
Yeah, if they found either the mirror or the hookshot, East Death Mountain will also be in play.
So all of the races it's a week 2 race. This race specifically is a 0 and 1. Bacon remembering about the back of escape, so we're gonna find out what's here. Alright, well, a bunch more money, and we got Quake back there, so Quake may be important later.
Yeah, very true, and it's always nice to get those things out of the way in the beginning of the game. It's already 33%, well, if it's required, a 33% chance that you're able to get into one of the dungeons, Misery Mire or Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and we know we're going to have to at least run one of them, because there's only going to be one pendant in Dark World right now.
Absolutely, that's true. We have already 2 pendants in the Light World.
Yeah, Bacon making the south play towards Dam and Mini Moldorum. And our 3rd Rupee Horde already.
Wow, Houlihan was yeah, not necessary at all, and luckily Elpis also not forgetting that the back of escape hasn't been done yet, so he'll be picking up his Quake medallion very soon.
Yeah, so with as much money as they've been finding you, would you think that the seed might be trying to push you towards Zora?
Well, as they say, follow the breadcrumbs, and there's even more money there, 50 rupees, so yeah, we could see Zora very soon actually. Of course, at this moment of time, without the flippers, it's not really that attractive to go all the way to Zora. Of course, they might opt to a fake flipper, but I think they might put that off until they have the Moon Pearl, so they can also access the 2 chests in the Waterfall Cave.
Yeah, right now if they would run it, it's only Zora it's going to open up, but it is still something there. They can check Zora, let's just see if anything's important there as well.
Yep, early intel is always very, very valuable, as seen in Mediseeds Speaking of progression, there's the Titan's Myths in the Minimodum case.
Okay. Yeah, so right now, pretty much all the places that have been checked have just been Hyrule Castle, the Escape. We've got Kakariko, Lost Woods, and now we're doing South Hyrule. The main route that was different is Elpis decided to do a Houlihan early to get money because they only got 50 rupees leaving Hyrule and probably maybe a little bit worried that he might not find much more money. But we found out so far that's not the case because it's been a very rich seed at the beginning.
Yup, and after the Southern Shore play, our players will be able to visit the eastern area as well as Death Mountain, and seems like Bacon is going for the Ice Rod Cave play. And of course, Agnes Cave is also open at the beginning of the game, but that's not a very popular location.
Yeah, usually that's one of the last places I see runners check if it's going to be an Aga seed. It's just like if I have to run Aga or check Agina's Cave, I'll check Agina's Cave first, because if it's there, then I'm good. If not, well, I didn't waste too much time.
Yeah, players want to avoid doing Aghanim at all costs. Of course, seeds giving out early flutes, having the flute in hand makes it a lot more convenient to check out Aghanos Cave, and of course what is on the desert ledge could be very important intel. And we see ElpisTK31 checking out what Lake Hylia Island has for us, and it's the Cane of Samaria.
Well, we're going to need that for sure. So we know the mirror, well, you know, even if Swamp ends up being a pendant, we know the mirror is required for the seed then.
Yep, that is correct. And both players going for the Eastern play. Let's see what Sahasrahla is hiding in his closet today.
Like his closet doesn't really give us too much. We got some rupees, an arrow upgrade, and the single arrow. And interestingly enough, both runners decided to skip talking to Sahasrahla. They could have found out where the green pendant in the Dark World was going to be, so they could kind of know exactly what they were going to need to complete the seed at that point.
Yep, that is correct. Also a play I've seen a lot in the Key Sanity tournament because there you don't know what every dungeon is until you pick up the map or until you actually clear it. But this could have been some valuable intel at the beginning of the game. However, if they access the Dark World, they will be seeing it on their map immediately. What is the crystal and what is the last green pendant that we're looking for?
Yeah, the main things to know when they do their Dark World check is going to be which crystals are 5/6 and which one is the green pendant. We got our first item in Eastern Palace. It's just going to be a piece of heart, so we got 2 items left in here. The Light World Crystal is Eastern Palace, so we're going to see both runners grab that because Eastern Palace is already completely within sequence. They have Lamp and Bow.
Yep, that is correct. Visiting crystal dungeons that you can clear completely is, I think, one of the most popular plays. Just go for that, because if you find something, it will take you immediately to the next dungeon and clear overworld as you walk or as you route yourself to the next crystal dungeon.
Yep, and we've got the 20 rupees out of the second chest, so we've got 1 item left in here.
Oh, here we have the Stalfos room, and Elpis opting to use his sword beams to destroy those not yet spawned 2 skeletons instead of using pots, and Bacon going for the traditional pot strategy also gets it. Very nice.
Yeah, very clean. Unfortunately, they didn't find a big key in the 3rd chest, so that means the big key is going to be in the back room. Yeah, right now, for them to reach Hera, we would require the mirror or the hook shot.
Yeah, finding one of those will immediately push your runners to the Dark Mountains or the Death Mountain side. I'm convinced.
It'll be interesting to see where they route if they don't find Dark World access here, because right now, outside of that, we've got 4 locations. Like Agina's Cave, we have Zora, then we have the turning in the old man on Death Mountain, as well as inside of Spectacle Rock. And that's all we have outside of this.
Yeah, that is true, and I think the ElpisTK31 did not check the Ice Rod Cave yet, whereas Bacon did. So, of course, if they do not find their Dark World access, they might opt to sequence break, use the fake flippers, check Hobo, and the Waterfall. The Waterfall Cave is, of course, not accessible without the Moon Pearl.
Yeah, and I think sequence breaking at least Hobo wouldn't be a terrible idea, because if you find that one item and you sequence break out of Aghanim's tower and your opponent doesn't, that is a big time save that you made.
Absolutely, that will be probably like 4 or 5 minutes, I believe.
Alright, with the compass in the big chest, that means Armos does have the 3rd item, which we had to kill him anyways. Alright, Elpis about to start his Armos fight. And down goes the Armos, and we get our red meringue.
Yep, so no Dark World access just yet. Let's see where he's going for next.
Yeah, like we got 4 chests. Most chests are going to be up on Death Mountain, but you could check those other locations, maybe hoping to either find what you need or a hookshot.
And he's starting from Sanctuary Elpis is, so he's probably going for the Death Mountain play, which is, well, of course, right now the highest density of items. Old Man giving us something inside of Spectacle Rock, and you can check what's on top of Spectacle Rock as well. Bacon, meanwhile, finishing off his Armos fight, and will probably make the same play, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll see where he goes, and also, you know, rescuing the Old Man does give you that extra point to resume from when you save and quit.
Yep, correct. And ElpisTK finding out that the bush crab has an A-bomb drop probably well doesn't like to see that much, but he's fine.
Alright, we're just gonna take the Old Man home now, see what he gives us for taking him home.
Yeah, getting lost in the Death Mountain maze every day must be so tiresome.
Well, we have our Moon Pearl, so welcome to the Dark World.
Yep, multiple Dark World ports available at this time. Let's see if they're gonna opt to go for the Swamp Palace one, the one from Southern Shore, I think, or the one, and of course, Kakariko Village, going to Skull Woods and to Thieves Town.
They could also use the one next to Eastern Palace and go right in a pod.
Yep, you're right about that. It's a bit of a walk, though.
It is, but we'll see, because they've got every Dark World access with the exception of Aga Tower is open to them, and we've got the Fire Shield inside of Spectacle Rock. Looks like Elpis is going to take the portal by Swamp Palace, and I'm gonna guess and go immediately to Hype Cave, and we'll see if he routes towards Pod or routes towards Village of Outcast.
Yep, so what do you think, Link? Is this gonna be Hype?
We'll see. Last couple hype caves I've commentated, there's been like no hype whatsoever. So it'd be nice to see a hype cave for once.
Yep, and meanwhile, we get a very fast map check from Elpis, and I saw that Skull Woods was the last green pendant. About the 5-6 crystals, I'm not sure. Anyway, we get the flippers in Hype Cave. A piece of heart, another piece of heart, lots of love, tempered, and another piece of heart. Well, that's pretty hype in my books.
I will give it, for chat, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Because that opens up Ice Palace. And who would love to see a runner run into Ice Palace with 6 hearts and green mail?
Oh, I sure know I do. And we see another map check from Bacon confirming that our 5-6 crystals are in Pod and in Turtle Rock. So yeah, that means the Cane of Samaria that we saw on Lake Hylia Island is definitely required.
Yeah, we need it for both, so definitely looking for that mirror, because the mirror is going to open up. Can't get over to Turtle Rock just yet. We'll need the hook shot or the mirror. And then Misery Mire would also need a flute.
Yep, and of course a medallion that we might not have in possession yet.
Alright, Bacon making the plane to Skull Woods. Elpis is doing the same, just 300 rupees, so that's one of the items.
Yep, a very, very rich sheet indeed. Runners almost, well, Elpis is actually over 1500 rupees already. And as a pendant dungeon, I think this is quite an interesting play. Maybe a gamble, if you so would like to call it.
I mean, yeah, I would call it a gamble because you might not necessarily need to go in here. Your nice thing is you can technically clear it, and it is the green pendant. Whether or not they find the second item before Mothula will be interesting to see if they decide to go try and kill Mothulas. They do already have Tempered, and then the Fire Rod with half magic, but you know, green mail, Mothula is going to hit you for 2 hearts, and then those spikes are going to hit you for 1 no matter what. So that's not a lot of wiggle room, especially with no safeties yet.
Yep, that's very, very scary indeed. And Bacon did not visit Hype Cave yet, so he's still a Master Sword. However, if they opt to clear this dungeon, they will receive the green pendant, and they can turn it in at Sahasrara for 1 more item.
I don't think Elpis went and checked the back like Bacon is, so that, to me, that's a little bit of a gamble. If you're going to go back there, I would at least try to find all the items.
Yep, that is true. This could be something big. Only the compass just yet. Let's see if he goes to the actual last backspace of Skull Woods. And Elpis seeing that the bumper ledge has nothing for us today and goes straight to the village of outcasts.
And looks like Bacon is going to make the play at least to the Fire Rod area locked. Don't know if he's going to go after Mothula. Didn't look like we had anything important inside the Sea House.
Nope, just some bombs right there. Next up is the treasure chest game. Well, there's your Swaganim Bugnat.
Well, that's required, so.
That is always required.
Alright, so either Mothula has the item or it's in the big chest, I believe.
Yep, did we see the big key yet?
I don't believe so. So Mothula could have the big key, potentially, or the big key could be locked within the chest itself. That is within logic as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, that is definitely possible. And also the bombable hut or the brewery in the south of the village of Outcasts having nothing more but a big 20.
Alright, we're going to get the pay cave check now.
And Bacon is going for the full clear, so it seems, of Skull Woods. This is going to be a very, very interesting fight.
Yeah, we'll see how he handles it, because it's, you know, low health, no safeties, no mail. It's going to be, it can potentially be a very rough fight, even with the half magic. Well, there's one of our safeties. We got powder in the peg cave.
Yup, and that means that the Bat Cave is in logic as well, as the runners picked up the hammer, so they can go do that in the light world once they get back.
Yes, it does. Alright, Bacon starting his Mothula fight. Oh, unfortunately takes a death on Mothula, though.
Wow, I'm literally on the edge of my seat. I think it was very, very close, though. Maybe just one more fire rod shot or one spin, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he was very, very close. And then inside the digging game, we did find out that there is the fairy in a bottle.
Yup, that puts Sick Kid into the logic as well. And Elpis is gonna make use of the flippers he found in Hype Cave. He's probably going for Waterfall Cave right away.
Yeah, it's okay. Nope, he's gonna. Or he's gonna check Ice Cave.
Oh yeah, he didn't do that before.
Alright, Bacon heading back in the Dark World. I'm sure we're gonna see him go through Village of Outcasts. We'll see if he dives into Thieves Town, though.
Yup, Thieves Town is a crystal, and they have the hammer, so they'll be able to full clear it, which is of course a very, very good play at this moment of time. Yeah,
and I expect him to go in, considering he decided I'm going to go ahead and try the full clear on Skull Woods, which, you know, like I said, 6 heart Mothula with no safeties. That's, you know, quite a gamble, unless you're really confident with your boss fights. That's just one of those fights that, you know, sometimes just the randomness of that fight can get any runner.
Oh yeah, definitely. If the moth stays on those spikes in the top of the room, it can be such a pain to pull it off. Of course, both runners in possession of the hammer could opt to use hammer strats.
Yeah, I mean, he probably would have really loved to have the tempered sword that Elpis had at the time. He might have actually gotten the fight then, if that was the case. Because, like you said, I think he was only like 1 fire rod shot or a master sword swipe away from a kill on that.
Yes, absolutely. And even more rupees in the waterfall cave. Wow.
So Elpis, for the time being, has 1,700 rupees until Zora's going to steal 500 of them. We'll find out what kind of lesson Zora has for us today. Well, Bacon decides to dive into Thieves Town. We have the shovel.
Wow, more fetch quests. But very nice to route in if they find the mirror with the Stumpy.
Alright, we had to find the big key in the first 4 chests, so now that we have that, we've got 2 more chances at items, and Zora today is going to have just some bombs.
Oh wow, life lessons, trying to blow us up. Well, when is the big fish is gonna help us out? Well, eventually, maybe.
He'll help you out when you least expect it.
Yep, it always has something when you don't go there.
Alright, we got a map in the 3rd chest of Thieves Town. And And a green potion.
And Elpis opting not to check the sick kid and the Batcave, or he might have remembered that he's in possession of both of those powder and the bottle, so he's going for that right now, I think.
He at least remembers the bottle. We'll see if he remembers the Batcave.
Stealing the pocket change of sick kid, his last savings.
He should just give him some of his own money and let him go to the doctor.
Oh yeah, with 1280 rupees at hand. Wow, Elpis, you're greedy. You're so greedy.
Does not remember about the powder though, so he's heading back into the dark world.
Yep, and I think he's gonna make the same play as Bacon. They'll both will be in Thieves Town shortly.
Yeah, I believe he'll make it too because he's already cleared this out, so it only makes sense. So yep, he's diving in as well. He's gonna find his, at least his green potion. I don't think we found anything else of value so far in here.
Yeah, the shovel, which might lead to something, but we'll see that later.
That's right, the shovel.
Well, still better to find it here than seeing it at the pedestal or something. Oh, did I just say the P word?
This is true, and Bacon's got to be careful because those crickets with blue mail do not joke around. They do 2 hearts of damage, and when you got 6 hearts max, that's a good chunk of your life.
Oh yes, 3 hits and you're done for. And well, speaking of blue mail, yes, Mega Man X, he is blue. He's wearing a blue mail, but we're still in green tunic. So yes, I'm wondering when we'll find some of the mill upgrades, because I know it will turn our Mega Man X sprite into the white X armor. I'm not sure what it's called. And if they pick up the red mill as well, there'll be the golden Mega Man X3 sprite, which is very nice in combination with the butter sword and the mirror shield.
Yep, all that gold.
Yes, gotta be fancy.
Alright, so since the P word did get brought up, and we've already talking about the pedestal, as far as what we could typically find on the pedestal right now, that could feasibly be a troll for us. Or that, you know, chat wants to see, basically. We could technically see the book, which would lead to something on one of the tablets. Hookshot could be on there. Mushroom could be there. Boots could be there. The flute could be on there. Either one of the medallions. The ice rod. We know nothing's in the cape, and then the mirror could also be there.
Yeah, wow, that's still a very big pedestal index at this moment of time. But still a lot of unchecked locations and unchecked dungeons, so those chances will increasingly get slimmer and slimmer. And Bacon into the blind fight. Has to be careful, only half a heart left.
Oh, takes the laser just as he hit him.
Wow, and usually you can find Blight as a scripted fight. However, if you die to him, he will not have the same pattern as he always has.
Bacon gonna go ahead and try it again, though.
Yeah, fortunately for the runners, it's a very short walk back to the boss here, so it's only natural that you give it a second try.
Yeah, and the only thing that'll really help here would be, you know, the red shield that they could have picked up, it's within logic. That helps because then you can block all his fireballs. Other than that, only mail really helps you here, because the weapon, no matter what weapon you're using, he's got to get hit 9 times.
Yep, so round 2 for Bacon, but this time he's equipped with the sword beams, having full hearts.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna just kind of take his time, especially for these first two heads. Take full advantage of those sword beams so he can just range attack, and now he's gonna have to get up close and personal. Oh, the ricochet sends him into the path of one of those fireballs.
Yeah, wow, and only one hit away from defeat for blind. And Elp is also getting close to his blind fight. Let's see if he manages to pull it off.
Alright, Bacon deciding to nope out of there. I don't blame him after a second death. You don't really want to waste too much time there if you're having problems with the boss. You can always come back with, you know, more hearts, better gear, you know, more mail, just something to make the boss a little easier.
And Elp is bringing blind down with only 1.5 heart over. Pretty nice.
Alright, so on the bright side for Bacon, the item on blind was only a heart piece, so it's nothing major that he's going to be missing. He's just going to need to come back for that crystal at this point. Probably not too happy seeing that fairy in a bottle right now. Probably wishes he had that about 3 or 4 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, that could have saved him so much. And Bacon probably deciding to pick up the frog and bring him back home. Let's see if he takes him on the world tour. Yup, he's going for that because he hasn't checked out Hype Cave yet. Of course, on the route they're checking Stumpy as well.
The only thing that hurts here is he did not check the pay cave. If he would have checked the pay cave, he could have got the powder, and he's going to be right at the blacksmith. He could have checked that as well while he was there.
Yeah, that is very true. And Elp is remembering that he has picked up the shovel in Thief's Town, immediately going to cash that in. Unfortunately, nothing special, just an arrow capacity upgrade.
Yep, just an arrow upgrade's going to nope out of that, and we'll see where he goes next. Whereas Bacon, he's going to be making his way over to the Hype Cave. He'll pick up his tempered as well as his flippers.
Yep, and Elp is back at the warp spot below Link's house. Where will he go for Palace of Darkness, or will he go for that early Ice Palace play?
Well, since he's in the Dark World, he's probably not going to Ice Palace since we don't have a mirror to get back. We got to do that from the Light World, technically. So
yeah,
we'll see where he might be going to grab the frog, actually.
Interesting routing decision, but he hasn't visited Stumpy, right? Not yet.
This is true. He hasn't checked Stumpy, so maybe Stumpy into the frog, and then he'll check the Bat Cave while he's there as well. But no, he takes the other route, so it looks like he might be heading towards Pod then.
Yep, could very well be the case. And Bacon, meanwhile, delivering Jeremiah back to his long-lost brother. Let's see if he gets rewarded, and let's see if he didn't forget about the Bat Cave, but he's probably gonna route that in as well.
Unfortunately, Bacon can't route it in. He doesn't have the powder. He did not do Pay Cave, so...
Ah, yes, you're correct. That was in Hammer Pags. Elpis, however, seems to be ignoring Pod at this moment of time. First, he's gonna check the pyramid, and might be going to Catfish after this, or maybe straight to Pod.
As the blacksmiths are making hearts for people today.
Yes, Hearts of Steel.
Alright, so with the extra 2 hearts and the ferry, Bacon might just go right back into Thieves Town now and clear it out.
Yep, that is true, and we saw something very funny on Elpis's side. He's using the boomerang to pick up an additional 5 rupees. Am I smelling Scrooge?
Well, I guess there is a saying you can never have too much money, but, you know, there's a point, I would guess. Oh yeah, so Bacon going right back into Thieves Town with 8 hearts and the ferry. Ooh, Elpis getting trolled a little bit, and then he's going to have to go back and pick up Kiki.
Yep, and only at half a heart left. Fortunately, he has the ferry in the bottle.
Yeah, he's probably going to be a little bit careful. It's not something you want to use like that. You want to use it in more of a, you know, pressure situation, not just running through the overworld or just walking through a dungeon.
So Blind round 3 and making good use of those sword beams again, but he'll probably get it since he has the ferry in the bottle.
Yeah, it does take a hit, so he doesn't have many more. I think we already got 2 hits on the head. Yep, there's 3. So Bacon gets his blind fight down.
So yeah, if the progression is actually not in Palace of Darkness, where could it be? I think the Batcave or Ice Palace might be one of the options, but which options are on the table as well?
Well, we haven't seen Catfish just yet, so that would be an option for us still. Agonas could still have something. I don't think either runner's actually checked that just yet. Outside of that, I think all we have is Ice Palace. Because we've pretty much checked everywhere we have access to overworld-wise. Actually, Skullwoods still could have something. We've only seen 1 item out of Skullwoods, and the Green Pendant. Those are options as well.
Yep, and the lunchbox, of course, Bacon is picking that up.
Yeah, can't forget the lunchbox.
Yeah, which is, of course, well, a little bit of pain to do without the mirror, so I think most runners will put that off until they find the mirror, but could very, very well be required as well.
Yeah, save and quit for the purple chest and for the blacksmith is completely within logic, so you don't have to have the mirror to do this. Looks like Pod just having keys so far.
Yeah, Pod being a good old Pod. The front loaded with keys and the value in the back, if there's any value today.
Alright, well we get a red shield, so we technically know where the mirror shield is now. That's up in Spectacle Rock.
Oh yes, once our runners will get access to Turtle Rock, they will that will put the laser bridge in logic.
Looks like Bacon's probably going to use his flippers and go check all the flippers locations. So he's about to check, you know, he's going to get his check on the island, see Canis Samaria, probably go route Hobo as well as Zora's area. Still a load of nothing in Pod though.
And yes, without the mirror in hand, it's a bit well, tedious to route Pod, but fortunately with the hammer and the bow, you'll be able to clear full Pod.
Okay, did you see what the Hobo has for us though?
I didn't catch that.
The Hobo has silvers.
Wow, Hobo has been tempting Ganon, hasn't he?
Apparently someone Elpis skipped Hobo. So I don't know if he's going to have silvers this run. Because I don't see him going back there now unless he's looking for a last item and has nowhere else to check.
Yeah, that could be a very, very big difference. As well as there's still a little, still a lot of bosses left. Argus dies from one arrow. You can use the silvers on Vitreous very effectively as well. Could become a major time difference.
Yeah, especially Vitreous. Having silver arrows with bow on that compared to any other strat is much faster.
Yeah, so this could be big, and it's very, very good for Bacon. And meanwhile, Elpis picking up the Butter Sword in Pod.
Okay, so silver's still going to kind of play about the same difference when it comes to that if Elpis doesn't end up getting them, because it's still 12 spins regardless of your sword. Well, there's our mirror. So this was Pod was definitely our play that needed to be made. Yep, Bacon seeing the bombs, his life lesson, he's heading out. We'll see where he goes. Hopefully he's gonna go right to Pod now.
Yeah, I suppose so. And the mirror is a very convenient pickup. You don't have to take a death warp at the Dark Maze or walk all the way back. Just start from the beginning and go straight to Helmets Arcane.
Yeah, and from the way Bacon's going, I fully expect to see Pod. He's just going to go through the portal next to Eastern Palace.
Yep, and of course, Helmsor King also dies with just one silver arrow to the jewel after having destroyed the mask. So that will save him some time at least.
Maybe just a little bit, since they have Butter Sword, it's only 2 swipes as well to the jewel. So with Butter Sword, it's not as big of a time loss, if at all, really. Because if he moves right away, sometimes you're going to miss that first arrow.
Ah, yeah, that's correct. And you still need to menu to the bow as well after having selected the hammer. So the 2 Butter Sword spins are maybe faster even. Maybe the same as just 1 silver arrow after menuing to it.
Alright, but Bacon making his way to Pod, so he's going to full clear this, I'm sure. Going to pick up his Butter Sword, he'll pick up his mirror, and then we'll see where the runners go after that.
Yeah, maybe his Bacon is going to be a bit disappointed to see the Butter Sword, because he'll lose his Bacon.
He can always get some Bacon back after he goes after Ganon.
Yeah, that is correct, and Bacon tastes so good with some molten butter on it.
Alright, but Elpis is heading into his King Helmsor fight.
Yep, just 17 slashes will destroy the mask, and then of course 2 Butter Sword slashes will make quick work of his second form. And using the sword in front of him to extend his hammer hitbox there. And down goes Helmsor King.
And Helmsor himself has a piece of heart. So as far as health-wise, it hasn't been a very kind siege. Money-wise, it just gave him all the money right at the beginning, but we're almost an hour in at this point, and we've only got 8 hearts.
Yep, no mill upgrades so far, and unfortunately you can't buy anything with those rupees. However, they may decide to pick up some potions at the witch's hut to give them some extra safety. But both of the runners have the powder in possession, so they can powder the anti-fairies to get some health back. If there, of course, are anti-fairies in the dungeons that there are.
Yeah, that's probably the best safe you've got. Need to have any safety. That's probably the one that most people are going to choose as powder, especially for something like Ganon's Tower. But let's see, Elpis is making his way back to Dark World, so he's not going to go up to Death Mountain just yet.
Yeah, interesting decision. He might opt to go for the no, he's going yeah, probably the Smith Loop.
Yeah, now that he has Mirror, that would make sense. He's going to be kind of disappointed with everything he finds, but we'll be able to check at least the cave south of the Grove to find out what's there. And we'll see maybe if he routes in Agnes Cave soon, so he'll be kind of close to it after dropping Purple Chest off.
Yep, he'll be kind of happy to see that extra heart container, I suppose, with yeah, the low health we'll have in this seed. And he's going for the Bat Cave. I believe Bacon already checked it.
We'll see. Yeah, so big 20, so nothing important there.
Yep, and having picked up the mirror and also with the flippers in hand, he might go to pick up his cane at the Lake Hylia Island soon.
Yeah, he might do that. The only reason I could see putting it off right now is the only points at which they need it, because they're already past pod now, would be inside Ice Palace, which you'll just pick it up since you're right there anyways, and then you need it for Mire and Turtle Rock. So you might just kind of, I'll come back for it when I'm in the area or when I absolutely need it, because that's the next place I'm going.
Yep, that is correct. Meanwhile, Bacon picking up even more cash in Palace of Darkness. And here we're getting a check that we haven't seen before. And it's the Blue Mill. Very nice. Here we go with our white Mega Man X-Sprite.
Yeah, probably very happy to see that with the 9 hearts, so much more durable. Okay, Bacon getting his mirror. And has his butter sword as well. He gets his fire shield and decides to save and quit, and we'll see where he goes. I'm kind of expecting a Death Mountain play now.
Yeah, that seems what he's doing next up. And of course, he'll be able to check out Hera and completely clear it, because he has both fire sources. Not sure if he will, because it's a pendant. But yeah, all of East Dark Mountain is accessible at this moment of time, as well as he has the Titan's Mid, so he can go to Dark Death Mountain side as well. But opts to peace out and go somewhere else.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I think he might be going for the Red Cane first. If he is able to enter Turtle Rock with the Quake Medallion, he might think like, I could take a dip in there.
Yeah, it would be interesting if it is either, and he goes up there with Samaria and he can go in there. Kind of a gamble at that point. You don't have Ice Rod just yet to finish it. And, you know, Ice Rod could very well be in there, but you have a lot of locations to check where Ice Rod could be, because it could be anywhere at this point except inside Ganon's Tower and on Trinix himself. and Fat Fairy, since the Turtle Rock is one of our 5-6 crystals.
Yep, correct. And I think Elpis is gonna pick up his silvers. He's gonna route that in.
Yep, looks like he remembered about Hobo.
That is very good for him. Meanwhile, Bacon in the last dark rooms of Palace of Darkness, he'll be facing Helmasaur King very soon. Oh no, seems like he might be going for Catfish check?
Oh, he's going back to the south, so he's probably going to pick Canis Amari up then.
Correct.
Alright, well, he gets his Canis Samaria, and now we'll see where he goes. Now I'm expecting the Death Mountain play.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thinking about item density, this is the place to go. Hopefully we'll find Hookshot somewhere here, because then all of Hookshot Cave will be in Logic. Of course, if we find the boots here, one of the chests in the lower part of Hookshot's cave will also become Logic.
Yeah, and the Hookshot is able to be there too.
That is very, very true. Of course, they'll be needing the boots for that. Unless the Hookshot is on the floating island, they can mirror to that location.
Alright, well, Bacon's finishing up Pod. He looked like he was about to save and quit, but looks like he's got other choices. I don't know if he checked Pyramid, and I'm pretty sure he didn't check Catfish, so he might do either one of those or both of them.
Yep, and Elpis going for the Pendant Tower of Heracles. 2 treasure chests.
Alright, finds the big key. That's what you want to find if you want a quick Hera check.
Oh yeah, definitely. The small key is not something you want to see early here.
And finds the first item.
Yep, just a piece of heart.
Bacon gonna check the Pyramid.
Yep, of course, we know it's only just a piece of heart there, but it might be interesting if he's going up there to check the Catfish, the out-of-the-way location that most of the runners do not really like to go for.
Bacon sees the piece of heart, and he is going to pick it up, which I don't blame him with only having 8 hearts right now.
Oh, absolutely. He doesn't have the blue mill upgrade yet, so yeah, me myself, I'd definitely go for that.
Right now, as far as like leads, I would say Elpis is probably a little bit ahead. Not by much, maybe just a minute or probably a minute or two.
Yeah, that seems like it. And we haven't found the second item yet in Tower of Hera. So Elpis is opting to probably face off against Moldorm. Moldorm might have the second item, or he might be holding on to the small key, meaning the last item will be in the Amazement of Tower of Hera.
No, they actually already have. He already has a small key, so he's got the key for the basement. So it's
either
going to be item here, or he'll have a dungeon item.
Yeah, correct. I completely missed that. A better sword making very quick work of Moldorm, and unfortunately only gets rewarded with the compass, so we know that the last item will be in the Hera basement.
Yep, and Catfish only had some bombs, so nothing there. So we'll see where Bacon goes now.
Wow, even more bombs. Seems like all our swimming friends, Zora and the Catfish, only want to kind of explode us.
We'll see if Elpis decides to try to go for his coffee break.
Yep, loads of ways to accomplish that. Sword beams, bombs, Cane of Samaria, easy to hit that switch, and he's going for the sword beams and gets it. And Bacon also remembering that the Cane of Samaria was sitting on top of Lake Hylia Island, picking that up right now.
Yep, and I think we're going to see him make the Death Mountain play as well.
Yep, so up until now, we're still actually pretty even. It's a close race.
Yeah, but from the looks of it, nothing in Hera, so Hera was a bust. So Bacon has a chance to make up some time if he decides to just skip Hera for right now, which would be a gamble, but, you know, maybe he'll make it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've seen already a lot of pendant dungeons this tournament not being required at all. But what if there's a required item right there? Would you skip it? What would you do? It stays a gamble in the end. And of course, we still don't know what pedestal is, and I think our pedestal chances became a bit slimmer just now.
Let's see. We really haven't found too much that was important, so I think it's just as strong, but we're going to see what Turtle Rock is. That'll check something, which it is Quake. So now the pedestal hype went down just a little bit, because we know we don't need Quake, or we know that Turtle Rock's successful, so there's a third of a chance that Misery Mire is also Quake, and we don't need any more medallions.
Yep, that is correct. And seems Elpis is contemplating to make the Turtle Rock play, but first decides to, of course, go to the easier accessible locations. But yeah, let's see if he decides to dip into Turtle Rock, and let's see what Bacon does, because seems like Bacon is skipping on Tower of Hera, which is actually good for him.
Yeah, it's a very interesting gamble. There's 2 items in there, but it does take a decent amount of time to check those 2 items compared to the rest of the places up here where you might be able to find something.
Yep, and so far nothing of big importance in Super Bunny Cave. There's, however, the book in Sparrow Cave for Bacon.
That opens up Desert, as well as he can go back and check the Ether tablet, which then it would be interesting to see him skip Hera again, because he's going to go back there, walk right by Hera. So we'll see if he skips it again.
Yep, that is true, and very item-dense location coming up for Bacon, the Paradox Cave. 7 treasure chests here.
Some much-needed health so far. Get the mushroom, rupees, and more rupees. So, the book and mushroom up here so far.
Yep, that is all fetch quests items collected by Bacon. Yeah, of course, yeah, the cape also leads to an item, but we already know that there's nothing sitting on the bumper ledge.
Looks like he's going to get trolled by the dead rocks, so he's going to head back in and reset them and just leave right away, while as Elpis picks up his mushroom. Bacon going to open up Turtle Rock, and sure is at least going to open Turtle Rock. We'll see if he decides to make the dive in there. And Elpis did not go back and check Ether Tablet.
Yeah, that is interesting to see. And of course, we also have Spy Cave sitting on Death Mountain, but I think it's not yet in the logic without having one of the invincibility items.
Yeah, right now they would need either Cape or Burna for it to be within logic, because you technically have to be able to do it without being hit once because of one hit KO logic.
Oh, that is interesting. I didn't know about that. I know a lot of runners use fairies in the bottle or some other potions to get through Spy Cave, but about that logic, thanks. I didn't know that.
Okay, so one of the heart containers in the Super Bunny Cave that we found was actually our Sank heart. You can tell that because it does refill your health entirely.
Yep, that is the only heart container in the whole game that does that to you.
Elpis gonna check out our Bombos tablet. We'll see where he goes from here, because since he's right here, he has the book. Agonist Cave is here. Just a bomb upgrade from Bombos. And Bacon is going to make the Turtle Rock dive.
Yeah, wow. Very, very interesting decision. He did not pick up his blue mill yet, so it's a bit, well, way more painful for him if he gets hit by, for example, the chain chomps.
Yeah, thankfully he does have the powder, and there are plenty of anti-fairies in here for him to abuse. Alright, taking his cave at a heart container. Yeah, it is more strict than what I stated, because I know you do require half magic, things like that, but they already have half magic, so I didn't bring something like that up. You usually need half magic or a bottle, depending on what item you're going in there with.
Yep, and luckily Bacon remembering that he does not have the hook shot, so he has to go all the way from below to light up those torches and get into the next room. And Elpis, meanwhile, decides to go for the desert place. Since he has the book in hand, he'll be able to access desert. Of course, it could be boots locked, and it's just a pendant dungeon.
Yeah, so probably trying to hope it's not boots locked and he finds both items, so he can just kind of get out of here. Find out really quick though if it is. Well, we know that the play Bacon is making is not the correct one, because there's our ice rod.
Yeah, that's very true. It's so nice to get that out of the way. Unfortunately for Bacon, yeah, we will not be seeing the ice rod into the rock today, but this is working out very well for Elpis. This might send him straight to Turtle Rock.
Nope, he's gonna go elsewhere. Whereas Bacon is gonna dive deeper into Turtle Rock. And as you can see with Blue Mail, those chain chomps do not play around, dealing 4 hearts of damage. Flute could be on pedestal, yes. Especially with us getting the main thing that was kind of stopping us was how was Desert Palace accessed. With the book, Desert Palace is fully accessible. We don't know if it's boots locked, because Elpis, actually it will be boots locked, never mind. Because he found an item there. So we do need the boots. So boots we know can't be on the pedestal now.
Yep, so far about our pedestal index, hookshot could still be there, the flute could be there, and of course bombos or either could be there.
And something interesting they both could do at this point if they really wanted to. I would see this more possibly from Elpis than Bacon, since Bacon only has Mothula. Elpis didn't check the back half of Skullwoods at all, and technically the pedestal, once we find boots, is on logic, but he still could check it early, know if it's a pedestal seat immediately. Then he kind of knows it's okay, I need to find the boots. As soon as I find the boots, I need to dive into desert, as well as, and he'll already be there, so he could just finish swamp.
Yeah, absolutely. And Elpis decides to pick up the 3rd shield upgrade inside of Spectacle Rock, grading his shield up to the Mirror Shield. I think he's going for the Turtle Rock play, and he wants to feel safe on Laser Bridge without any invincibility item.
Yeah, I think he's going to make the Turtle Rock play since he grabbed the shield. That's the only reason why you could see you going back to actually pick that shield up and not grabbing it earlier.
Yeah, without the boots, those laser skips are very, very hard to do. I think you almost certainly have to get hit without having the boots.
Yeah, and I mean, you can just take the safety door and probably take a death or two trying to get everything, but that just makes it easier. And then we've got the 10 bomb drop inside Mimic Cave.
Yep, and that was especially recently added to the V29 version. If Uncle decides to give you bombs as the starting weapon, he'll give you the 10 bomb drop. If he doesn't give you that, it will be shuffled among all the items all over Hyrule, and you can find it as Bacon just did.
Yep, as chat just said, Ice Palace was in the only accessible chest in Desert Palace right now because we do know it's boots locked from its location. But yeah, Elpis just kind of following the breadcrumbs. He's, finding a major item, sees what it opens up as far as dungeons, just kind of diving right into the dungeon. And it's been paying off for him right now.
Oh yeah, definitely, and he must feel a lot more comfortable wearing that blue mill.
Yeah, probably, but Bacon has been doing a very good job with his dip into Turtle Rock. He's really only taken a lot of damage from the Chain Chomps.
Yeah, that is correct, and I don't blame him for picking up these extra 2 safety hearts along with the magic container. Using the silver arrow to get the mini Helmsar out of the way.
Yeah, but Elpis forgetting he does not have the hook shot though. Ice Rod is not in Turtle Rock. We know it's in Desert Palace.
Yep, and Bacon opening up the safety door in Turtle Rock, so he will be able to get those chests no problems. Of course, probably will take a death here, but that will be perfectly fine since he'll get respawned at the beginning of the the bombable door. I mean.
Yeah, those lasers do a crazy amount of damage. But does have a fairy. He's gonna have to try to skip this or he'll end up taking a game over. Ooh, unfortunately takes a death just at the last second. Gets a nice skip there though. And another nice skip, but does not see the ice rod, so he's gonna go out. Hopefully it doesn't take him too long to go check out Desert Palace. As far as what made him decide to go into Turtle Rock, he was only missing the ice rod. He could have been gambling, and it's not a bad gamble still, because ice rod has been seen plenty of times inside of Turtle Rock itself. So I don't really blame him for doing that. You're already up there. So that's kind of the main reason probably why they picked up Samaria going up here in the first place, was if I find Ice Rod up there, I already have everything, I can just clear the dungeon.
Oh yeah, definitely. And of course the Quake Medallion in our hands, the Fire Rod, the Cane of Samaria. It's pretty much pointing into the way of Turtle Rock, as well as Bacon, of course, saw the shield upgrade that Elpis opted to pick up. So he knows that the laser bridge is in logic. So I don't blame him at all for this play. And we have seen Ice Rod sitting in Turtle Rock so often.
Yeah, and sometimes that can be the gamble that, you know, wins the race for you. It's like, I've got plenty of places to check, but I'm going to check Turtle Rock, and it just kind of hanging there on the laser bridge. But Bacon's going to pick up his blue mail.
Yeah, he will definitely be pleased to see that.
I believe Trinix is going to have one item. So other than the fact, you know, Bacon did spend the time in Turtle Rock full clearing it, Elpis is full clearing it himself. Going into Turtle Rock and having to do a re-clear, it's not terrible. You do lose time on it, but compared to some other dungeons, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah, definitely. This is not yet the end of the world by far. It has been very close, and it still is very close. Let's hope he picks up his Ice Rod and decides to go back.
Yeah, so he's checking kind of all the outstanding locations in the overworld, but it looks like he's heading back to Village of Outcasts right now. He's pretty much checked everything here except clearing out Skullwood, so maybe he's thinking about going back to Skullwoods and checking the pedestal.
Yeah, that could very well be the answer to our questions at this moment of time. Where is the progression?
Oh, that's right. Oh no, he's checked Peg Cave. He hasn't checked Batman yet.
Yep, so if Trinix is holding onto the boots, it might be calling for pedestal, since it would put Desert Palace into the logic. Of course, Skullwoods is clearable, and Tower of Hera has been cleared by Elpis.
Yeah, well, we could still find boots in Ice Palace. Ice Palace isn't completely open to logic, depending on how the keys are situated because of the hookshot room. But depending on how keys are, then Ice Palace would be within logic.
Yeah, very much so. And of course, if the boots are found, that means the King's Tomb will be open and the Bonk Rocks will be open as well.
And it looks like Bacon is going to make the dip into Ice Palace.
Yep, and it is a crystal. You need to clear it anyway, so why not? This is definitely a good play by Bacon.
The interesting thing that Ice Rod did put into logic, though, is the Pyramid Fairy. Since Turtle Rock is one of our 5/6 crystals and Pod was the other one, that is an option now.
Yep, 2 more treasure chests after having defeated Trinix.
Alright, so 1 item in Ice Palace is just 5 rupees. And this Trinix fight should be very easy with the Butter Sword.
Yep, already done with phase 1. Trinix hiding back in the shell and coming out as, well, Onyx or a snake kind of creature. And just a quick spin, some slashes, and he gets it done.
Yep, nice clean Trinix fight. And he gets rewarded with another heart.
Well, still no progression. This is becoming more and more interesting.
Yeah, our options for possible progression are slimming down quickly. We still have Ether Tablet. Nobody's checked that. Bacon inside of Ice Palace could find something here. Looks like Elpis is thinking about that, though. Yeah, and as, our tracker Merc just pointed out in chat, Hookshot could be in its vanilla dungeon.
Yep, very, very true. And of course, Swamp Palace is already in logic with the flippers, with the mirror, and of course with the hammer. You're able to reach the full left side. Only the back of Swamp is inaccessible without the hook shot.
Yep, help us remembering the tablet, so we're going to see if either tablet had any value. Just 10 arrows.
And there's a convenient key pickup for Bacon. He would be able to go back up the stairs and go for the chests upstairs, Ice Palace. But he's going for the iced tea room first.
Yep, and Elpis is going to technically sequence break the spike cave right now. Ooh, does not use the potion. Thought he could get through and takes a death, so... Oh, it has a fairy, never mind. Alright, so we got 200 rupees inside Ice Palace, so we got 2 items out of Ice Palace then. And there's our hook shot.
Wow, one more piece of the puzzle. And it is technically sequence broken, so we might see a cape or a cane of Burna here hiding in Ice Palace, maybe.
Yeah, that's very possible, as well as, we could end up seeing one of those on the pedestal, and then by logic, it could have been a pedestal seed.
Very interesting call, but very, very much true.
And Bacon is about to try to pull out this bomb jump. It is not a very easy bomb jump.
Yeah, that is correct. I believe you can go all the way to the bottom until there's only one very, very dark pixel left below your shadow. Put the bomb and move a bit to the right, and you should be able to get it.
Yep, and then Elpis looks like he's about to dive right into Swamp.
Yep, very interesting play there. Maybe he hopes to find progression there, which is, of course, very, very possible. But most players have a tendency to put off Swamp as long as possible because it's very, very fast if you're able to go mod it. But of course, same goes for Ice Palace.
Yes. So the way that Spike Cave works is you have to have a Cane of Burna and typically a half magic or Cane of Burna or the magic cape, and then either half magic or a bottle to get through it. The main reason why you can't just go through it with a bottle and a bunch of hearts is you take damage, and even though we're not in a one-hit knockout mode, the logic accounts for you being in one-hit knockout at all times.
Bacon, unfortunately, not realizing that. Oh, I think he got the right. He might have gotten the right pixel.
Oh, not over just enough and takes a death though. Looks like he's gonna dive right back in though.
Yep, he is holding on to the small key this time, so he'll be able to access those last chests way more easy without having to do the bomb jump, of course.
Yes. Yeah, I know the spike rooms in Ice and Mire aren't held to that standard anymore, but the Spike Cave still is just because of the length of Spike Cave.
So right now we are away the boots, a flute, and potentially one more medal for go mode. So I think that Elpis is gonna up to check the left side of swamp as well.
Yeah, because you're, potentially one item away from go mode right now, if depending on what that medallion is for Misery Mire. Yeah, hearts have nothing to do with logic for anything. Pedestal has not been checked. As far as what in the logic means, basically the way that every seed is generated is there's logic built into it to where there's never an item behind something that would technically lock you from being able to complete the game. So if we say something's in logic, it means they can pick it up. If it's out of logic, it means they can still get it through, potentially a minor glitch or some kind of glitch, or just taking a bunch of damage when they're not supposed to be able to. But it lets them pick it up, and then it means it's out of logic, and then anything that's past that until they kind of get back to logic isn't considered. So you can't find the items. If you're looking for a specific item and you know how the logic is working, you would be able to find the items and know where they may not be.
Yeah, that is a very, very accurate explanation right there. I couldn't have done that better myself. And Elpis is going for the left side of swamp.
Yep, Bacon's still making his way through. I don't think we found the third item in Ice Palace just yet. There's the big key. So I think the last item has to either be in Big Chest or on Cold Stair.
Yep, that is correct. And seems that the left side of swamp is a bust. However, Cane of Burna was found, and that puts Spike Cave right into the logic.
Okay, so that means, unless we can find the cape somewhere easier, that means the seed wanted you to double dip swamp.
Bacon has to be careful again, down to 2 hearts.
Yep, has to be careful. I don't know if he has any safeties right now, and Ice Palace is not a place you want to take a death, especially when we're getting close to Cold Stair, and from the looks of it, that's where the item is.
Yeah, that's true. The big chest only having the map does mean that Cold Stair is holding on to the last item. Of course, he has the powder, so he will be able to powder this anti-fairy right here.
₹50 and the compass.
Yep, and we haven't found the big key yet here in Swamp.
Alright, Bacon doing his Cold Stair fight. Barely has enough magic to get him. But very nice fight and puts him into the corner.
Yeah, very clean fight. Well done by Bacon. And gets rewarded with just more rupees. This seed is all about the money.
Yeah, we've already spent the money for Zora, so without that, we'd be looking at both runners being above 2,000 rupees right now.
And Elpis, having picked up the big key, is gonna check out the chest. Unfortunately, it's just another piece of heart. And if Elpis does not dive into Ice Palace, he will be able to go mode it once he gets his go mode.
Yeah, this is true. We'll see where he decides to go, because more than likely not going to Spike Cave, which is where he needs to go. Yeah, as far as the dungeons in Randomizer, they will only ever have the big key, map, compass, any keys necessary to complete it that are typically found in chests within those, and then any locations left over are randomized. So it looks like Bacon is going to make the play into Swamp. Isn't going to find the hook shot, which he needs to complete it. We'll find the Cane of Burna, and maybe that'll push him back towards the Spike Cave.
Yeah, wow, this feels like a kind of a deja vu. Bacon heading into the Turtle Rock without the Ice Rod, and now heading into Swamp Palace without the hook shot. I really feel for them.
Alright, Bacon going to drain the lake so we can flood the swamp. Couple spins and takes down Argus. And there's our red mail.
Yep, there's our golden Mega Man X3 armor. Nice combination with the Butter Sword and the Mirror Shield. Very happy to see this.
Yeah, you brought it up earlier, and that's exactly what they ended up getting, so...
Yeah, I was kind of wishing for it, but yeah, really happy you got to see this.
And it looks like with the way Elpis is walking, he's about to head into Ice Palace himself to clear that one out. Probably gonna, you know, he's hoping to find that flute.
Yep, that is true, and well, it's a very, very good play considering that it's a crystal, and he has the hookshot and the hammer in hand, so he knows he will be able to full clear it. Unfortunately, we know that there's nothing there, so but very good for Bacon to make up some time.
There has not been a pedestal check yet.
Yep, that is correct. And pedestal not quite in logic at this moment of time because Desert Palace is boots locked. So I think the only thing that the runners have left is Mothula and the green pendant, or that's one of the only things they have left, I think.
Yeah, since Ice Palace is done, we know we've checked both tablets. Let's see, every dungeon is done. Yeah, I think it's either Swamp, Mothula, or Pendant, because I'm trying to think of anything in the overworld that they might have missed, but actually, have they checked Graveyard Ledge?
Yeah, that's another out-of-the-way location, that is true, and yeah, Swamp was a bust, as we saw on Elpis' side, he full cleared it.
Yeah, Swamp only really gave us... I mean, it gave us Red Mail, which is nice. It gave us the Cane of Burna, which put Spike Cave into the logic at that point. But other than that, there wasn't any progression.
Yep, I'm really, really hoping that it gets Bacon on his way back to the Spike Cave.
But actually, I don't think anybody's turned Mushroom in.
Ooh, good call right there, sir. Could very well be something.
Well, Speedy Swabian, if you want Boots in Ganon's Tower, then you're going against a pedestal seed. Because for this to be a pedestal seed, we have to find Boots relatively soon at this point.
And Elpis lining up that bomb jump with the Mega Man X Sprite. Gets it first try. Very well done.
Oh, and chat did point out, I forgot about this. Hookshot opened up Hookshot Cave.
That is correct. That is correct.
Yeah, so we've got a decent amount of locations left before they probably start thinking about that. I'm sure, you know, one of them might end up going up to Death Mountain because I think that's the highest location of items we have since we've got 4 there. Everywhere else is kind of like one-off locations. Yes, right now, for this to be a pedestal seed, we either need to see the flute on the pedestal or Bombos or Ether. Assuming Misery Mire requires those.
Yep, and Elpis, having picked up that small key in the freezer room, decides to head back up and route it a bit differently than Bacon did.
Yeah, they might check some one-off locations before that, but other than that, there won't be too much. And yes, he can get Kane. He's about to get the Kane right now. But it's not going to lead him up to Death Mountain just yet, so we'll see where he's going to go now. He's going to pull the hammer out, so it's probably going to go towards Swamp Palace again, but we'll see where he goes then.
Yeah, I think Bacon hasn't checked the Bombos tablet just yet.
Yeah, that's right, he hasn't checked that yet. He also hasn't been in Desert, so he might be going to Bombos and then jumping inside Desert where he's going to find his Ice Rod.
That will lead him straight back to Turtle Rock. Unfortunately, yeah, nothing good to find there.
No, I mean, he'll just run right to Trinex, clear out Trinex, and hopefully after that he's like, oh, I'll be up here, let me check Spike Cave, find his hookshot.
Yeah, and what would even be better right then if the progression is in Hookshot Cave and he decides to get that out of the way when he picked up his hookshot.
Yeah, I'll probably have to kind of save and quit and then come back out. Since, you know, Spike Cave, it's typically hard to get out of Spike Cave while you're alive, but he does have Cane of Verna with half magic, so that is doable. Yep, Bacon about to check Agnes Cave, and then we'll see if he decides to go in the Desert.
Yep, and I think Elpis skipped out on the iced tea chest, which I believe had one of the 3 items.
Yeah, I believe that's what had the big 20, so he might end up coming back in here to double check that.
Heading into his Cold Stare fight, very, very well equipped. This will be a walk in the park. Gets him almost in the corner. Not quite, but Butter Sword makes very, very quick work of these eyeball puffs. And Cold Stare goes down.
Yep, still nice quick kill on Cold Stare. Gets his 50 rupees, his crystal, and now we're at 6 on his side. It really depends, because like right now, Flute's kind of the main thing holding us back. If Bacon makes the right plays, which, you know, he's going to find Ice Rod knows he can't go any further in Desert Palace. I'm guessing at that point he's going to go immediately to Turtle Rock, finish that out, and Elpis is probably doing the one other thing and checking the Pyramid Fairy. Depending on where the Flute is, if he makes the right plays, the right gambles, finds Flute before Elpis, that could put him right back in the lead.
Yeah, that is very true. We still have an actual race going on here. Yeah, we'll get our Pyramid Fairy check from Elpis probably as he heads over to the bomb shop to buy the big bomb.
Alright, yep, and Bacon gets his Ice Rod, immediately saves and quits, and is going to head up. Let's see. Nope, Sanctuary. So not going to go to... Oh, Elpis jumps with the bomb. Lets it blow up, but we have more than enough rupees just to buy it back.
Oh yeah, well maybe Bacon is deciding to go to Skull Woods, or maybe the Graveyard Ledge. Could also be the solution for our problems.
Yeah, I mean, there's the possibility Bacon finds, because the Flute could be outside of the logic with Hookshot already, and he could find it, go to Turtle, and then not even do anything with Turtle Rock, but we know we need to go to Death Mountain for the Hookshot first.
Yeah, that is correct, but it's good for him if he puts off Turtle Rock as long as possible to make that his final crystal, as he doesn't have to ascend Death Mountain again.
Yes. But, yeah, he could have checked Pedestal, but looks like he's going to Graveyard Ledge.
Yep, so 2 unvisited locations, and Pyramid Fairy is a bust, unfortunately. Just 10 arrows and a big 20.
She gives you back some of that money that set her free.
Ah, yeah, still nice.
All right, Bacon checking bunker cave, sees the big 20, knows cave's not required.
And Elpis, meanwhile, heading up, having his hookshot ready. I suppose that he's... Oh, I think he didn't check catfish just yet.
Nope, he hasn't checked catfish, so he's going to do that now. Well, Bacon checks graveyard ledge, so... Getting at least one area we haven't checked.
And the mushroom was turned in.
Alright, graveyard ledge is the bomb upgrade, and the mushroom is just 50 rupees. Probably gonna go ahead and fill his potions up, though.
Yeah, a very wise decision with this kind of money. While you're here, better just do that. And that means we're down to, I think, Mothula, the green pendant, hookshot cave, and, well, of course, Bacon has to pick up his hookshot first from the hookshot from Spy Cave.
Yep. Bacon gonna also turn his mushroom in, see the 50 rupees. Elpis sees the bombs, saves and quits. We'll see where he goes now. Yep, Mountain Cave, so the only place he can be going really at this point is Hookshot Cave, and he even pulls the hookshot out. Bacon making his way up to the Dark Death Mountain, I'm sure. We'll see if he decides to check Spike Cave first. I probably see... Oh, he might be, considering where the way he's routing it.
Yeah, well, he has to go up here anyway, because he doesn't have the hookshot to get to the East Death Mountain side.
Oh yeah, that's completely right. The probability of a pet seed's increasing as far as chest-wise. We're running out of locations. We've got about 7 or 8 locations left that we need to find some kind of progression, and it has to be either flute or boots. If you want a pedestal seed, you want Elpis to find the boots in Hookshot Cave.
Yep, so here we go. Hookshot Cave. 4 more treasure chests for Elpis coming up.
Ooh, Bacon is skipping over the Spike Cave for right now.
Ooh.
Oh, but there's a flute. Okay. Is not going to check the other chests, though.
Wow, that is a huge risk, actually. 2 more medallions left.
Yeah, that is quite a gamble to me, because it's like you only have one of the medallions. You don't even know what Meyer is because of that, and you leave. If that medallion's there...
Yep, and Pedestal is not dead. Chat is bringing up Pet is dead, but if one of the medallions is on the pedestal required for Turtle Rock, I mean for Misery Mire, the pedestal is not dead yet.
Yeah, we need to find out which, Elpis is going to get his flute. I'm guessing is immediately going to go check Myers, see what it is. If it's Quake, we're in go mode. If it is Bombos or Ether, then we're on the hunt for that. There's not many locations for it to be. We only really opened up Myers Shed as well as Checkerboard Cave. Other than that, we still got Hookshot Cave, we still have Skull Woods, the Green Pendant Turn-In, and the Pedestal.
Yep, that is true. However, technically, we're still not in full go mode at that moment. If the big torch in Ganon's Tower has the big key on it, we need the boots to get it off.
flute was the first chest you typically check in Hookshot Cave, the one that is accessible by boots.
That is correct, and we'll be seeing shortly. And
Nope,
it is Quake.
That's Quake, so we are in go mode.
Wow, what a gamble. Yep, only thing that could be hurting Elpis if the big key is on the torch in Ganon's Tower, and if boots are still here somewhere in the outside world.
So yeah, so Elpis has a very sizable lead because of that. So he's gonna have, it's really his race to lose. He's gonna have to make a lot of mistakes at this point. Okay, yeah. As our tracker pointed out, there is a 1 in 22 chance we're not in go mode at the moment. We could still need boots.
Yep, and I've seen that happen sometimes.
Yeah, which the boots can be anywhere except within Desert Palace at this point and the pedestal.
Yep, that is true, and of course, Ganon's Tower having the highest density of items, boots could very well be there.
Yeah, they could be. That's the best place for them to happen right now.
And we're having pretty much a Godmire coming up. First chest that Elpis touches is the big key. Still decides to get this other treasure chest, which is only a small key, and decides to go straight for Vitreous. And meanwhile, Baking making very short work with his better sword of Trinix.
Yes. Yeah, even though if you don't have the boots, you're about to head up to Ganon's Tower, you are going to act like you're in go mode until proven that that is on the torch, because more than likely, your opponent's going to do the same thing. You're not going to worry about, I need to find the boots before I worry about Ganon's Tower on that, you know, that 5% chance that it's on the torch.
Yep, so Trinix goes down for Bacon. Let's hope he's going for that Spike Cave check right after this.
Yeah, if he has any chances at all of catching up, he's got to make the play to Spike Cave immediately. Pretty much go right into Hookshot Cave, but he's going to save and quit. So I'm sure he's about to check Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, of course, that's a very fair play at this moment for him. Unfortunately, we know that it's not the correct play. And Elpis heading into his last crystal fight, Vitreous, and he's gonna opt to use Cane Strat, so it seems. Maybe he forgot he got the silvers. A bit laggy Cane Strats. Of course, having the better sword still makes very quick work of these eyeballs.
Yeah. And then 2 shots Vitreous with silver arrows, and he goes down.
Yep, so, Sir Linkalot, do you know what time it is?
I believe it is time for the Ganon's Tower guessing game.
That is very, very correct. So, we have 22 possible locations for the big key to be in Ganon's Tower. Which number do you think the big key will be hiding in today? Get your guesses in chat. If you have donated at least 250 bits or are subscribed to one of the Speed Gaming channels, you'll be able to get a place in our very cool leaderboards.
Yep, and you have until the time that Elpis enters Ganon's Tower to get your guesses in. The second he enters it, we are going to close the doors to that, and then we're just going to be counting chests.
Yep, so Link, what will your guess build be today?
I'm going to go with 13 today.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going for number 8.
Yeah, I typically go with 7, but I guess that would be the best thing for Bacon, because depending on how the small key gets situated, if there's one, they go right side 7 is the torch. But I don't know if I want to see that today or not.
Yeah, that's correct. And a couple of frustration slashes on Bacon's side as he finds nothing in the Pyramid Fairy Cave. But it seems that he's going to make the right move and go up to Spike Cave.
Yep, he is making the right play. So we'll see where he goes after Spike Cave when he picks up that hook shot. I kind of see him just going right back to Swamp, which I don't fault him for. But we know he needs to go back to Hookshot Cave.
Yep, that is correct. The best thing for Bacon would be if the big key is on the torch. Then this race is very, very far from over. If the boots are not in Ganon's Tower, that is, of course.
Yes.
And unfortunately, Bacon decides I'm gonna do Hera, as he didn't do that yet.
Yeah, he did skip Hera, so we're not gonna find it here, but hopefully he checks Spike Cave when he's finished.
And here we go. Elpis has entered Ganon's Tower.
Alright, chest 1 is 20 rupees, chest 2 is the cape. So
Yep.
Seeing that cape definitely shows that the logic expected you to double dip Swamp Palace.
That is true. And here we go. Here comes up the torch, and it's just a small key.
Yep, and has to skip it because of no boots, but gets the key right there. Going to be getting chests 4 through 7 here. Bacon sees his map. There's 4 is Piece of Heart, 5 is 20 rupees. 6 is Bombos. And we've got another small key in 7. Bacon about to do his Trolldorm 1 fight.
And up next, the Fire Bar Room number 8, my call, and it's nothing but Vic 20.
And Bacon has a very nice fight against Trolldorm. He goes down. Fortunately, he's going to see the compass, knows he's got to check the basement. I'm sure he's about to go there. I'm about to get to chest 9. Just an arrow upgrade though. Bacon's about to make his way to the basement for his coffee break. We'll see if he gets it. And Elpis is about to head into the rando room for chests 10 through 13. Oh, there it is. Chest number 10. Interesting, checks the rest of the items.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's looking for. Possibly boots make some of the gauntlet rooms a little bit more easy.
Right, and sorry if I butchered your name, but congratulations to Tethio for guessing the big key correctly. Oh, actually, that's interesting that chat pointed this out. I did not catch this. He does not have a small key.
Ooh.
He is gambling on finding a small key up there.
I'm not sure if he's gambling. I think he just forgot about it.
I mean, that is possible as well.
But yeah, having seen that hookshot cave gamble, could very well be a gamble as well. Elpis feeling lucky today.
As far as that, so for the rules for the big key chess game, now that it's over, is if both runners, you know, enter Ganon's Tower close to each other and they take different routes, whoever goes in first, it's the order of chests that they encounter. So even if like they would have entered the exact same time, one of them would have went left side first, completely skipped right side, they would have found it on chest 8, but if Elpis would have entered first, found on chest 10, it's still going to be 10. Yeah, and I don't think that's going to make a huge, you know, as far as if there's not a key there, he's going to have to go back. It is going to be a time loss that does give Bacon a chance to catch up. It's not going to be enough more than likely for him to completely catch up, but, you know, it does get him closer, and if there's any, you know, other more mistakes, things like that, that could give him the window he needs.
Yeah, that's true. This is only very good for the race, actually. Elpis decides to go with fire rod threads in some of these rooms. And it's gonna up to use silver arrows on Lemolus too. There's one. And there's two. Just one left.
Yep.
Still nicely done.
I mean, it's going to take a little bit more on Elpis's side for Bacon to catch up, but Elpis did go up Ganon's Tower without a small key, so he's kind of gambling on the fact that he will find a small key up here, other than the one that's on Helmasaur. If he does not find a key, he is going to have to mirror, go back into the basement, find another key, and then go back up the gauntlet again.
Yep, and realizing he doesn't have found the boots, he is gonna use some cave strats to get through these long corridors.
Gets a nice full magic upgrade.
Again, better safe than sorry. Uses the cape. Only the torch rune left. Let's see if he finds the other small key that he needs. 2 more chests left. And 1 chest, I think, before Modern 2 as well.
There are other chest locations that they have access to without a key right now.
I meant upstairs.
Yeah, they're saying, what if he needs the one on the torch and boots is the only option right now. There are more options still.
Oh yeah, excuse me, that's correct.
Alright, Elpis taking a look at what he's doing. Gets that key. Checking the chest, not there. Not there, he's got 1 more chest. Altogether in Ganon's Tower, I believe there are 27 chests altogether.
Yeah, that is correct. Including the big chest, of course.
Yep, and here's the last chest. No key. He has to mirror.
And he's gonna opt for looking for a key on right side. Unfortunately, he can't get to right side unless he's going for the torch, the tile room.
He might just do the tile room.
Yeah, could actually very well be a good call, because it takes maybe the same amount of time to get all the way back to the chest behind the ice armors.
Alright, Bacon gets his red mail, picks up his 6 crystal. Now we'll see what play he makes.
Yep, and Elpis using a handy kind of well, glitch or trick, whatever you want to call it. Using the cape and pulling a wall at the same time does not decrease your magic bar at all.
Bacon's gonna dip back in because you know he's missing 1 item and it's on the big chest. There's Elpis's key. Alright, so Elpis has to run back up the tower now.
Yeah, I can only imagine how he must be feeling. He didn't see his opponent done just yet. And at 2 hours and 5 minutes in this seed, knowing that it's not a pedestal required seed, he must be well, feeling quite tense at this moment, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm sure his heart's probably racing a little bit, saying it's like I made a. If you gambled on it, I mistake potentially. It's like it's like I don't know how close my opponent is. Probably looking, waiting for that dot done at this point.
Yep, and Bacon heading up the mountain again, having the hookshot in hand, will be easily accessing the east side of Death Mountain, getting to Hookshot Cave, and will be acquiring his flute soon enough.
Yep, and then is going to go get his swag duck, head to Mire, more than likely right away, see its quake, and knows he's in go mode. And will rush, and since he's going to have a quick Mire, like I said, Elpis still has to make quite a few mistakes for Bacon to catch up at this point, but the lead has diminished by a decent amount right now.
Yeah, that is true. It will take at least, well, maybe not double-digit cannon falls, maybe double-digit cannon falls, but at least a lot of time, quite a chunk of time.
Yeah, as a Fallen Ganon's not that big of a time loss right now, so with Butter Sword, you're going to fly right through the first 3 phases. Yes, if you die to Aga 2, then you do have to do the gauntlet all over again. Bacon is going to check the other 3 chests in here. There's a heart container. Piece of heart. And an arrow upgrade.
Wow, what a gamble. And Elpis, low on hearts, decides to powder the Bunny Beam right there and gets back up to 9 hearts into Lamolith 2 again.
Yeah, and he also caught a fairy his first time up the gauntlet as well, so he has a fairy even if he does take a death right now.
Ah, yeah, that's correct. Super safeties.
He's having a little bit of trouble with the refight.
Yeah, he must be sweating a lot by now.
Okay, I know we already got it on Elpis' side, but we did not have the sound. But Bacon's about to get his swag duck, so we're about to hear Hyrule's national anthem. So if you could please rise and take off your hats.
Yep, and the duck got unstuck, the goose is loose on Bacon's side. Always very, very nice to hear. Touches the heart.
Yep, and he's going to head to Myers and see Quake, and no, he's in go mode. Alright, Elpis doesn't spawn the tower, so we are in the final mode. He's just got to unlock this last door, get through the Troll Dorm refight, Aga 2, and then Ganon. And the muscle memory, not remembering, that's already blown open. You don't have to do it again. Can I powder that fairy, get some of his health back?
Yep, and opts to go for spins on Mordom 2. However, just 2 slashes will do the exact same damage on Butter Sword.
Yep. As far as despawning Ganon's tower, it's a very, very rare occurrence, but the way that you do it in that first torch room, you have to basically go through the door at the second, like the frame that the door itself actually closes because the first torch goes out. Right, Bacon gets his big key, while Elpis is starting his Aga 2 fight. Gets a double.
Yeah, very nice first pattern there by Ganon 2.
So we got 2-1-1. Alright, so one more will do Aga 1 in. Down goes Aga 2, not Aga 1.
Yep, and on to the final challenge, the roast of the big blue pig. And this will be no problem whatsoever with Butter Sword, the red mill, of course some safeties in bottles, and the silver arrows to finish him off.
Yep, this should not be a very difficult fight, and we're going to start at 6 hits for phase 1, 6 hits for phase 2, 4 for phase 3, and then 4 silver arrows in phase 4 to finish Ganon.
Yep, and Bacon catching up nicely, almost at the Vitreous fight, his final 7 crystal, and will make the ascent straight up to Death Mountain soon.
And we'll see what strats he decides to use. Elpis, you decided to use Cane of Burna and just, you know, whacking with the Butter Sword. We'll see if Bacon decides to do silver arrows.
Yep, and Ganon into phase 3 already. Really, really fast, of course, with the Butter Sword.
Yeah, we're getting silver arrow strats. One more hit will put us in. Gets the torch glitch. Tries for a double but just gets 1. Lights the torch, that's up for a double. One more arrow.
Ooh.
Oh, takes a fall though.
Yep, and unfortunately, not having the boots, he won't be able to bonk another fairy out of the tree down there at the pyramid. But with the fairy in the bottle, I guess he should be fine on the second attempt.
Yeah, he should still be fine on the second attempt. I mean, even if he takes the death, he's got the fairy, so it's not a huge loss, but nerves are probably getting to him. He still hasn't seen the dot done at this point. We're approaching 2:15. He's probably thinking his opponent's got to be really close to finishing.
Oh yeah, definitely true. At least in Ganon's Tower or in the Ganon fight as well.
Alright, quickly to phase 3. Alright, back on phase 4. Does not get the torch glitch this time. Sets up a double though.
Yep, he gets a double. Just 2 more hits. Just
one more hit. And this should do it. Yep, down goes Ganon. GG to Elpis.
GG to Elpis, and meanwhile Bacon entering his Ganon's tower.
Alright, and Elpis will finish with an official SRTV time of 2 hours, 15 minutes, and 49 seconds. GG.
Yep, GG's again to Elpis. Let's see if he wants to join us for a post-game interview.
And Bacon making his way through Ganon's tower. All right, we will be getting Elpis in here for a interview. All right, looks like he's in the waiting room. Gonna drag him in. All right, and we are joined by Elpis. GG.
GG, Elpis. Hey there, ElpisTK31. Can you hear us? GG's on your victory.
Looks like our voices are distorted to him. We're gonna have him disconnect, and then we'll bring him back in, see if that helps.
Yep, and meanwhile, Bacon finding his small key. I think he did not pick up the big key yet, so he's going for the right side. Unfortunately, we know that has nothing of that much of value.
Yep. All right, he's back in the waiting room. Gonna bring him in, and it looks like we had a arrow upgrade on the pedestal today, but we're gonna bring him back in. We'll see if that's any better. Elpis, are you able to hear us better now? Alright, seems we're still having a little bit of technical difficulties. We're going to see if we can get this working.
Yep. Meanwhile, Bacon deciding to go full right side here in Gannon's Tower.
Let's see if this is working now. Hi, Elpis. How do we sound? Hey, Elpis, are you able to hear us? Yeah, we're still having a little bit of issues trying to get the voices working on Elpis's side. We're working on it right now. It looks like just because of that, we're going to skip the interview with Elpis, unfortunately, though.
Yep, and meanwhile, Bacon is facing off against the ice armors, of course making quick work of those with the silver arrows. Yeah, we know this is unfortunately not the play that will grant him his big key. Some rupees, we haven't seen this before, a key and even more rupees, so he will have to do the left side to pick up his big key and finish off with Gannon's Tower.
Yep, so he'll have to make his way left side to the random room, pick up his key, and we'll make his way up the tower.
And Elpis seems to have joined the chat, so if you have any questions for or Victor today, please yeah, get them in chat. Of course, we are all, I think, very hyped to know what the reason was for him to skip out on the hookshot cave, the final chest, once he got the flute.
And Bacon getting closer to his big key. Shouldn't be too much further away.
Yep, just the fire snake room left, and then he'll go to the rando room to pick up his key and ascend the tower.
Bacon checking for his keys. So there was not a key in the random room. Oh, I wonder. Because he checked ice armors. He checked... Did he check Bob's chest? No?
I think he did, actually. Maybe one other key is hiding in the big chest?
Yeah, it has to be. Or he needs boots at this point to complete the seed now.
Oh wow, that's super unfortunate because yeah, he did get towel room. He did get full right side. It has to be actually,
or
yeah,
unless or unless he's missing a pot key, like Chad just pointed out.
Yeah, I believe he picked up the other pot key in the right side as well. Maybe he didn't pick up the pot key in the hammer room.
No, I could have. No, I think he picked the one up in hammer room.
Oh, this is becoming a mystery.
Yeah, because he's going to need another key. We know it's not up there. But while Bacon's making his way up, you know, unfortunately we weren't able to have the interview. But definitely give both of these runners a follow. They put on a good race for us today. It was very interesting. The plays we saw, some of the, you know, gambles, leaving some chests behind, and some other things that were left behind, but we won't get into those.
Yep, that is true. Definitely give these runners a follow if you like what you're seeing. And of course, if you like Randomizer, well, you're in for a treat, because we still have, I think, 5 more weeks of Swiss to go. After that, we sure have the bracket stages, which is, I believe, also another 7 weeks. And please don't forget to subscribe to the link to the past Randomizer channels and the Speed Gaming channels if you haven't done so already.
Yeah, and even beyond that, we still have the rest of today and tomorrow before we're even done with week 2. So there's plenty of Randomizer for you over the next several months.
Yep, plenty to watch. Still 256 matches every week in the Swiss tourney. So yeah, if you're bored, well, you won't be anymore soon. And down goes Lamb 2 for Bacon. Unfortunately, yeah, he does not know about the small key problem yet, so I wonder what he's gonna up to do once he finds out that he's 1 key short.
Pretty sure if we had 1-hit knockout mode in a tournament, we would not have 512 people signing up. And then some, because we still have people on the waiting list to get into the tournament. So I guess the question is going to be, what is Bacon going to do when he gets to the top, realizes he's missing a key?
Yeah, whatever decision he's gonna make, I won't be blaming him. He put up a very good fight this seed, and yeah, maybe he decides to go back into the overworld to get those boots. Maybe he's gonna check for the pots if he if he missed a key. Yeah, we'll see.
So Bacon picks up that last chest, does not see the small key. And unfortunately, I regret to inform you all, Bacon actually has decided to throw in the towel and forfeit this race.
Yeah, that is quite unfortunate, but I don't blame him at all. I've never been in this situation myself, so still GG to Bacon for putting up a very good fight for us and entertaining us today with this awesome race.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to see if he wants to come in. I know after that I wouldn't blame him for not wanting to, but I'm going to see if he wants to come in for an interview still. All right, it does seem like we are going to get him in for an interview. He just joined us. Hey, Bacon, GG.
Hey there, Bacon. GG, sir. race.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to see if he wants to come in. I know after that I wouldn't blame him for not wanting to, but I'm going to see if he wants to come in for an interview still. Are you able to hear us, Bacon?
Yep, so I'm gonna try again. GG Bacon, can you hear us?
All right. It's got a little bit of activity from Bacon. We saw it going. Can you hear us, Bacon?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. GG.
GG Bacon.
Thank you. That was awful.
Yeah, I can quite imagine. Yeah, you're not to blame at all. Yeah, not finding the other small key on top of Ganon's tower. But how was your overall feeling during this race?
I was pretty much on tilt probably 3/4 of this race, just first due to execution and then having to run all over God's creation just to find anything.
Yeah, I know the seed definitely kind of gave you a lot right away, and then there wasn't much progression for, a good amount. And the hook shot decided to kind of be a little bit of a pain hiding in Spike Cave, which, with the way the logic worked out, it was actually wanted to force you to double dip Swamp.
Yeah, the one time Spike Cave decides to have something useful, I wait until it's practically the last thing I can check.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was the hook shot as well. It was the ice rod waiting in Desert Palace for you because yeah, your opponent made the call to decide to go for Desert first after having picked up the book, go straight to Turtle Rock, being able to full clear that, and you had to go all the way back to Desert. And same goes for hook shot. Elpis decided, well, he opted to go for hook shot cave. The Spike Cave. Grabbed his hook shot and went to Swamp, and unfortunately, you went to Swamp before you went to the hook shot cave. So. Yeah, of course, it stays randomizer. Unfortunately, yeah, your plays, your gambles didn't pack out so well for you, but still, yeah, very very well played on your side, and was happy to see you stick to it until the very end.
Yeah, I'm thinking the last key was might have been in the big chest, because I think there were 2 more keys left.
Yeah, that was.
I just didn't want to go back for it.
Yeah, I can completely imagine after 2.5 hours of putting your best to giving us a good show, and yeah, of course, unfortunately, not having the boot, seeing that the small key on the torch, not being able to pick that up, probably the big chest was the less possible option for the other small key.
Yeah. I don't know, but it was a very interesting seed. I can give it that much.
Yeah, how did you feel about Kakariko Well?
I honestly can't. Oh, is that where the 2 swords were next to each other?
And Lamp.
And Lamp. Immediately thought was Agaseed.
And then I'm sure you kind of were like, took a deep breath when you finally actually saw the gloves from the bottle merch. It's like, okay, maybe not. I just need to find the Moon Pearl now.
Yeah, heading up to the mountain to get the Moon Pearl was when I really let out that sigh of relief.
Yeah, and I definitely have to. I know we were talking about it, and chat was too. We were all admiring the play to go deep into Skull Woods for the 6-heart green male Mothula.
I decided to take a gamble on that, and it didn't really do me any good.
Yeah, I mean, you had the problems with the boss, but still trying to go in there. I know a lot of, especially newer runners, because I know you, from what I saw in your profile, you've only been doing it since fall.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of runners, especially new runners, would make that decision. I'm going to go after Mothula with 6 hearts and green mail, even with the half magic, because that fight's already a nightmare by itself, even if you have decent equipment, let alone the low equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It was a very bold play, and you actually managed to almost pull it off. I think you were only like 1 or 2 slashes away from having defeated him.
Yeah, that one hurt a little bit. That's why I didn't. Normally, I have a tendency to, if I don't do it the first time, try it a second time. But that's why I just kind of dropped out of Moth after the first time, because I knew it. I could feel that it was close.
Yeah, and it was the correct decision because, yeah, as we know, that's not where the progression was hiding.
Mm-hmm. So did Elpis end up finding the boots?
No, we have no idea where the boots actually are.
Wow.
So considering we checked, I think, every location inside of Ganon's Tower except the big chest, because he didn't. He ended up going up the gauntlet without a key as well, and then got up there, found out not mirrored, went to tile room, got the key, and then just immediately went up after tile room, because he went left side and found his key. So knowing that, the boots, yeah, there's not even many locations for the boots to even be.
Yeah, probably the second item in Skull Woods or the green pendant on Sahasrahla. There were, I think, those are only the 2 locations left that hadn't been checked.
Yeah, it could be vanilla boots, I guess.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I don't know if you all noticed. Did I miss in the left of the torch room with the conveyor? Did I miss that key?
Chat was saying, and we weren't completely sure, but there were people in chat that were saying that they thought you missed the key in the hammer room.
Okay, that's what I was thinking my second time through. I was like, did I get that key? Because I couldn't remember, and instead of checking it, I was like, screw it. I'm just going to keep going, and hopefully I get lucky, and I did not.
Yep, so Bacon, you're moving on to, 0 wins and 2 losses at this moment. However, nothing is lost yet because you can still take 5 wins in the upcoming 5 weeks. But if I may ask, what is your goal for this tournament?
My goal is 1 win, because I've done a couple of the big community races, but this is only my second actual 1v1. So I would just like to get 1 win under my belt in this tournament.
Well, I'm very, very certain, almost certain that you'll be able to pull that off. Well, at least be able to pull off, and get 1 win with still 5 weeks left of Swiss. And of course, you get all the honors today for having almost completed the full seed in 2.5 hours. So I'm quite sure you're going to make a very good chance to get at least 1. And let's hope for 5 wins to move on to the brackets.
I'm not gonna hope for it, but that would be pretty amazing.
So yeah, any final remarks for you, Bacon, on the seed or on today's race?
Not really on the seed. GG's to Elpis for getting this one done, and thank you all of the crew, commentators, and tracker for putting this together, and for the speed gaming channel and community.
Yeah, well, thank you again for showing us a great race today. And yeah, good luck from my side for the rest of the tournament. And you got all my my support.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I guess I'll do my final shout outs before I'll leave it for Kless to close us out. But, you know, shout out to Merc249 for doing tracking for us. You know, shout out definitely for all the work going on behind the scenes to make all of this possible. I know there's a lot more going on than even the commentators, trackers that we know about that are getting all these races to you all, with as many as we're trying to get to you every week with what's going on. And then, you know, thank you for being here and watching, everybody, because none of this would really matter if you weren't here to watch it. And then thank you, Kless, for commentating this with me.
Yeah, same here, Sir Linkalot. I had a lot of fun commentating this today with you together. Shout outs to the rest of the crew, of course, to our tracker, Merc, the runners. If you haven't followed them already, please, by all means, give them a follow if you like what you're seeing. And yeah, if you're into the randomizer or got hooked to it, we still have a lot of races going on. I believe on Speed Gaming 3, we'll be having a match coming up at 7 p.m. And of course, yeah, the rest of the week and the upcoming 7 to 14 weeks, we'll have a lot of randomizer race coming to your side. We're going to wrap it up tonight. Thank you guys for watching, and hopefully see you next time. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.